Hey guys, it's AmandaRujeko. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have been gone away for some time, and now that I'm back and I am trying to get back into my schedule, I just thought it fit to come on here and tell you guys where I've been, why I haven't been uploading, what's been going on. So yeah, if you want to find out what's been going on in Amanda's world and what's up, then please keep watching. So basically, I feel like I took on too much to do. Around April, May, June, July, I was doing my normal 9 to 5. I also had my YouTube channel, which I'm very, very passionate about. I'm not complaining about it. And I also started a new company. I feel like, where the company is concerned, that's where most of the problem started and why I've kind of been gone away. I couldn't do my own production for this company, so I enlisted the help of someone else. I hired someone to do the production for me, but then he seemed to be very busy. He's a friend of mine actually, and he had a backlog of things to do. So he suggested that I do the production through a person we mutually knew. So this lady, she had done some stuff for me previously, like a year or two before. So I didn't really think much of it. I just agreed. So I started doing my production through this lady. This lady, she, for the lack of a better word, was pathetic. All her stuff needed to be redone. It was as if I was working with an amateur, and I actually wasted a lot of money by doing my production with her because I had to get the stuff that we needed to use for the production, and I still needed to pay her for her labor. So it was a very big waste of money. So eventually I was introduced to someone else who apparently was the best in town. I started doing my production through him. So this guy, he did some samples for me. I was so blown away. The stuff that he did was so good. I actually felt like, oh my gosh, I should have met you sooner. It would have been so much easier. My company would have been thriving by now. Anyway, we continued with doing the samples, and I started noticing that he was attracted to me, but I didn't really take it seriously. I mean, it's not the first time working with someone who is attracted to me or someone who makes sexual advances at me. Now the difference is, this is my company, so him doing that started compromising everything about the company. Previously, when things like that would happen, or if I was working for someone else or working for another company and then someone makes sexual advances at me, or they make me feel uncomfortable at work, there's steps that you can take, and you can always report it to HR, or you can always bring it up to someone who will take action. But at least the wheel is still rolling. Everything is still being done in that company. The whole company is not going to stop because someone's eyeing Amanda. But then when this started happening, even before my company went live, it really affected everything. I was now at a point where I'm thinking to myself, this is now the third person that I'm working with. Do I drop him because he's making sexual advances at me and find someone else? What about the money that I have now invested in him and him doing my production? And the other lady who I wasted more money on. And by the way, this guy had actually encouraged me to register my company, which was more money. So at the end of the day, I was sitting with a registered company, samples which are not yet completed, and a person who's supposed to be doing my production, but that is now making moves on me, telling me he's gonna come to my place and drop off some stuff, which he would do, but he would still ask me about my sex life and tell me that everyone in the world needs someone that they can go to, at least just for a release. It doesn't have to be anything serious. It can just be sex, and that's it. And the weird thing is that this guy works with 3 of his family members, a friend of his and his wife, but he can still afford to hit on someone who he's supposed to be working with, which I find to be really, really disgusting. Because if I had agreed to whatever he was proposing and his wife had found out, she was just gonna have to suck it up and be strong for the sake of her marriage and just take everything that was happening with a pinch of salt, which is truly, truly, truly disgusting to me. I really felt appalled by that. So how did this whole thing make me stop filming and doing what I needed to do for my company. I started getting really annoyed. Also, I started noticing that he started slackening when it came to my stuff. He wasn't producing it on time. And what he was now doing is, when I would then pay him a visit at his office and ask for my samples, he would then ask one of his family members, because remember I told you he worked with 3 of his family members. So what he would then do is he would ask one of these ladies to then do the job. And these ladies aren't as good as him, no offense, he's really, really good. So at the end of the day, the samples that I ended up with were not things that I could put out there, because still the quality and the standard was not what I considered to be something that represented me. So after some time of really thinking about this, I told him I wanted to have a meeting with him. And in the meeting, I wanted to really tell him that, look, you don't want to be the person doing my production, because first of all, I'm not comfortable with you giving my stuff to the ladies that you work with so that they can do it, because they're not as good as you, honestly. And second of all, I can't have you hitting on me when we're supposed to be working. I mean, what kind of relationship would that be? What kind of work relationship would that be if instead of you doing what you're supposed to be doing, you are hitting on me? So this really, really, really affected me. So after I suggested meeting with him and he said he would meet with me, I just decided against it. And around about the same time, I went to see a friend of mine for a little bit of time. And I think that's when I realized that I was really, really tired. And I was pushing so much and trying so hard, which isn't a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing, because my days were something like this. I would wake up in the morning, prepared to go to work, go to my 9 to 5. I would pass through this guy's office, pick up samples, give him designs, give him ideas, brainstorm with him, etc., and then go to work. I would work until 4 p.m., get back home at around 6 p.m., and normally I'd be asleep by 7 p.m. and then I would wake up at 10, sometimes 11, sometimes 12. I would start brainstorming for the company. I'd edit my YouTube videos, and then at around 4 a.m. I'd work out. Then around 5 a.m. I'm preparing to go to work, and then around 6 to 6:30 I'm leaving the house to go to work. So it was basically a very packed day, which I really, really loved at the time, because I felt like I was really pushing as hard as I could to really make the changes that I needed to make in my life. But when I started feeling overwhelmed about what was happening in my company, I just decided maybe I need to take a break. Maybe I need to stop with all of this. Maybe I need to just give it a week or two. And a week or two turned out to be 3 to 4 months. So I then started really going out a lot. I started going out with my friends who are into partying a lot. We would be partying, we would drink, we would stay up until like midnight to 2 a.m. And most days before I would go home, I would go for a drink. So all that drinking meant that I stopped working out. Now all I could do was come back from work, have a drink, get home, freshen up and do whatever I would do when I would get home, and then fall asleep, only to wake up at like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. the following morning, and then I'm preparing to go to work. If it was a Friday, it was even worse, because then I could party all night long. I usually have a very short working day on a Saturday, because I work from 9:30 to 1 o'clock. I wouldn't really feel the effects of partying all night long on Friday. And then on Saturday after work, I would go and party some more, come back home on Sunday, or come back home very late in the evening on Saturday, and just be okay with it. That became my lifestyle. I am not proud of that, but to some extent I feel like maybe it was necessary for me to go through that, because maybe I really needed to blow off some steam. I mean, I blew it off for way longer than I should have, but maybe I needed to, because I also had other frustrations in my personal life where family is concerned and a lot of other things. I mean, life is not rosy. Life is full of everything that you guys know it's full of. Stress from work, the stress from my company, coupled with the stress that I have in my personal life, the relationships that I have that I'm working on and stuff like that, the stress that I get from family, it just became too much for me. It really became too much for me, and I just was like, we are putting brakes on this. We're putting brakes on this. We're not gonna keep pushing for it because it's not paying off. Aside from my friends that I would go partying with or go drinking with, I started really shutting out some of my real friends, like the people that I go to for advice and the people that are there for me. I started distancing myself from them. It almost was as if I was in a toxic relationship, but with myself. You know how it is when someone is in a toxic relationship with someone else? One of the things that happens is that they stop talking to their family and friends. They make life all about their partner. I started doing that. So anyone who was not in my personal space, like if I didn't meet you or see you on a regular, then I wouldn't talk to you. Because I mean, why am I talking to you? I'm not gonna see you. So why are we talking? Why are we spending time on the phone? Why am I investing time on a chat with you? Because I'm not gonna see you. So I started getting really close to my colleague who I worked with, and we sit next to each other, and we would spend a lot of time talking and catching up, and I would tell her a lot of stuff that was going on in my life and everything. She's an amazing person, by the way. Shout out to her. I hope she's watching, but she's an amazing person. I absolutely and truly love her. But once she got out of my personal space as well, because then someone else started working with me, I stopped talking to her as much. So I started to be that kind of person who would not make effort in any relationship or in any friendship. So someone kind of made me realize that, and I'm grateful for that, because if I hadn't realized that, I probably would have just continued to just not talk to people and stuff, which is bad. I don't condone it. But I felt like I just wanted my peace, and I just wanted to be alone. If I'm not at work, if I'm not out partying with someone, I just wanted to be alone, and I just wanted to be left alone. So yeah, this whole thing with this guy, it really affected me a lot. It affected me to a point whereby I felt like I had some type of a meltdown. I just kind of lost myself. But right now, I'm in the process of finding myself again. So this past week, I've been working out, which I'm so happy about, because I have gained a lot of weight. I look a lot more round. Maybe it doesn't show on camera, but I have gained a lot of weight. So I've been working out. I haven't been drinking as much. Even if I go to a function or in an event or anything, like I'll have 1 or 2 drinks and that's it. Really been taking my self-care seriously, because one of the things that was compromised was my self-care. So I have been doing self-care, but not as much as I wanted to. But this past week, I've really been doing my self-care and really just making sure that I relax and you know, stay afloat in terms of what I need to do. Just make sure my energy is balanced and I give as much attention to each aspect of my life as is needed. So yeah, the one thing that I will say though that was kind of positive in the last 4 months is that I was doing well in my 9 to 5. I was getting a lot of compliments from the people that I work with and our clients as well. So that's the one thing that I feel like I didn't let go of. So I held on to my 9 to 5 and I did really well in it. So I'm happy about that. And I feel like my 9 to 5 does deserve a lot of attention. That's my only source of revenue in any case. I think going forward, I just want to give my life a lot of balance. I need to straighten out my walk with Christ. I need to improve my relationship with God. I need to do what I need to do for my company and just ensure that it's a success. My YouTube channel as well, my body, self-care, working out, doing what's right for my health and everything, drinking less or not drinking at all, stuff like that. And also just to work on relationships with friends and family, because honestly speaking, you guys, I have really, really taken myself out of every relationship that I have with anyone. So whether it's family or friends, I've just kept myself to myself. So I do need to improve on that as well. But yeah, that's what's been going on. That's why I haven't been uploading. That's why I have just vanished off the face of YouTube. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys being here, and I really appreciate you guys being here. If you're new to my channel, definitely subscribe because there is a lot of content coming your way. And thank you so much to everyone that has been watching my channel. I know that I was not getting a crazy amount of views, but every so often when I'd go into my YouTube analytics, I actually had views, and I just kept thinking to myself, I can't believe I have views even though I've been quiet. That's amazing. So thank you so much to everyone that continued to watch my channel even when I was quiet and I wasn't uploading anymore. But that's what's been going on, and if you have experienced similar, then I really hope that you have overcome it somehow. Like I said, I've learned a lot of lessons just by being through the situation, and I now have better perspective on how to run my company, and I know that when I get back into it like full force, I'm going to do well, and I'm not going to take any nonsense from anyone, because yeah, it's one of those. But anyway, thank you so much once again for watching. I will see you guys in my next upload, and until then, cheers.